welcome back to Pleuss Sports. My name is Reed Pleuss, and I have a special guest with me today. Two special guests with me today. We're talking AFC West with the Broncos winning the division. Will they retain their dominance on the field, or will Mahomes retake the division? Will Herbert land the Chargers in a playoff spot, and how will the young Raiders look? Please welcome my two special guests. We have Dennis Pleuss and Patti Coulter with us today, longtime Broncos fans. And just to start, I want both of you to give me your favorite moment as a Broncos fan and your least favorite moment as a Broncos fan. Go ahead and go first, Dennis.
Best moment was Super Bowl 32. The Broncos finally win the Super Bowl after agony of the 80s. Just a great time. They beat the Packers. My sister, big Packers fan, actually had a big Packers party at her house. I was alone by myself at my mother's house with nobody else there. Got sick of the TV broadcast, turned on Dave Logan and Scott Hastings to listen to them. So that was awesome. Best moment. Worst moment, obviously the Super Bowl losses were tough, but I will never forget the 1982 strike. I remember talking to my mom as I was going to school and telling her I was so excited for football season to start. And she said, I heard something about some strike and they might not play this year. And I was devastated. I remember going to school crying because my mother had said that they were going to probably strike. And it was an 8-week-long strike. So it was a modified season in 82. I was 7 years old.
I was nowhere near being alive when they started the NFL. But yeah, Patti, same question over here.
I also, best moment, I'm going to stick with best moments that I was at the stadium for.
There we go.
And the best moment I was at the stadium for was the playoff game against the Steelers with Tim Tebow. Goes into overtime, one play, game over. When he throws it over the middle, I'm in the stands, and I'm like, it's cover zero. They're all jumping up. It's cover zero. Throw. And then he did. Threw it to Demaryius Thomas, 80 yards, touchdown, game over. I tore my meniscus before the game started, so I was jumping up and down on one leg.
Oh my goodness.
And I asked the EMTs to please help me down the stairs after the game.
Nice. That was Tebow's only play. Was that
only playoff win? Yep.
Right.
Worst moment, again, all 5 Super Bowl losses have been tough. But
right?
Yeah, that was Super Bowl 12.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah.
Yep.
But the worst moment that I was there for was the loss in '97 against the upstart Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Yes, the Jaguars.
Oh my.
When Michael Dean Perry couldn't get his fat butt off the field when they were punting to us, and he didn't get off the field, too many men on the field, they kept the ball and they won the game.
Oh my. That's some sad Broncos moments, but also they're on the uptick. Now we're going to go into records. Where are people going to stand in the AFC West? Quite a bit of shakeup. There's a lot in the draft. But let's go, Dennis, start with who do you think is going to be the worst at the bottom of the barrel for the AFC West?
I'm going to have to go with the Raiders.
Okay.
I mean, obviously some Bronco influence there with Clint Kubiak taking over as their new head coach. That'll be interesting. I just think it will take them some years to get it going for Kubiak to get his players in. But we say the Chargers are going to Charger. I think the Raiders are going to keep on Raidering as long as their ownership kind of does what they do over there, and they haven't been relevant for a long time. Obviously, and we'll get into it. I know a little bit with the Max Crosby deal, with them trying to trade him and then them not trading him, and he's still there. And obviously, number 1 pick with a rookie quarterback. We'll see with that. And then Kirk Cousins, we'll see if he starts or what he does there or who they go with. But do you like that, Patti?
I absolutely do. The Raiders will be pulling up the rear in the AFC West yet again.
Yeah.
But as far as the next worst team, because Dennis already said it, Chargers are going to Charger. They're going to be the cream of the crop in this division is still going to be the Chiefs and the Broncos. The Chargers will find a way to not win the division. because that is what they do. They've got some good young offensive players. They've got Khalil Mack, but they will find a way to charge her.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, especially like when your top wide receiver target is Lad McConkey, who's going to be a third year. Like, you don't have a lot of weapons that Herbert can still use. And, I mean, you have a really good O-line, but is Omarion Hampton going to be the running back his second year? I've still a lot of questions with the Chargers. But now let's go into top of the division. Who's going to be that second spot, maybe sneak a wild card?
So what I think, and I kind of thought about this a lot, because usually I'm the type that, like, best quarterback is who I'm going to go with. I think we're going to have a tie in the AFC West, 12-5 with the Chiefs and the Broncos, but the Broncos will sweep the season series and win the division. That means they've got to win the opener on Monday night in KC. I'm hoping that the Chiefs have like a swift hangover from the wedding, and maybe Mahomes isn't healthy enough, and they got to go with Justin Fields as their quarterback. So that's what I think. The Chiefs will finish second and probably grab a wild card spot, but I think the Broncos will win the division.
Is that the same Justin Fields that you were upset the Broncos didn't draft in the first round, Dennis?
That was like, what, 5 years ago?
Okay, so it is.
I mean, imagine where you'd be at. Like, if Justin Fields has started as a Bronco.
Hey, you never know.
You guys would not be in this conversation. Patti, same thing, same deal. You think the Chiefs are gonna get second?
I do think the Chiefs are going to end up second because I don't think that Patrick Mahomes, even if he does start at the beginning of the season, he's not going to be the same Patrick Mahomes. It's going to take him a while, and he doesn't have a ton of offensive weapons. They did bring in a running back for a coach that never likes to run the football. Yeah. So we'll see if that helps give Mahomes a little time, but I do think the Chiefs are going to end up second in the division.
That makes sense. I am going to go the opposite way. I think the Broncos will finish second. I think they'll still grab a wild card spot, but with how many fourth quarter comebacks you guys had and how much like luck went into that of Bo Nix not showing up in 3 quarters and then eventually showing up in the fourth, I just don't think those games are going to bounce your guys' way this year. You guys will still be – I think you guys will be a better team. Adding Jaden Waddle, I think, will be a huge help for him. You still got a hole at tight end, but I think the Chiefs have a lot more holes, but I'm never going to bet against Patrick Mahomes, even if he isn't healthy. By November, he'll be back to the same Patrick Mahomes that carried that Chiefs team. So, all right, so top storylines in the AFC West. We kind of touched on it is Mahomes and Bo Nix injury, 2 of the top quarterbacks in this – the top quarterbacks in this division. Bo Nix coming off of an ankle surgery, 2, I believe, correct? 2 ankle surgeries. Mahomes, huge injury at the end. They're saying both are going to be back, but, I mean, what do you guys think? How does that impact the team?
I think Mahomes' injury is more serious, but I think he's still – in his prime, he's a better quarterback than Nix. Now, will he be at that same form? I don't know. It's to be seen. I still like Andy Reid. I think he's the best coach in the AFC West. It'll be interesting what that offense will look like. I know they brought back Eric Bieniemy back to help that offensive side. Is he calling plays? Probably not. It's probably going to still be Andy Reid, at least the biggest voice in the room. But I think he'll be okay. I think Mahomes might not start from the get-go. If they have a slow start, it is what it is. But I think they'll be in the mix with Mahomes if he stays healthy. Now, I know Patti kind of poo-pooed on their backup quarterback, but their backup quarterback's a lot better than our 2-hand chest pass backup quarterback that the Broncos have instead of. I worry about that. If the Broncos lose Nix, they're in a bigger hurt than if the Chiefs lose Mahomes, I think, at the backup quarterback position.
I don't know if I totally agree with that because you look at the playoff game, you were there. Mm-hmm. Huge weather that got in the way. You held probably one of the best offenses in the AFC in Drake May. Yeah, you held Drake May and a really hot, good, young offense to 10 points in Denver in a crappy weather.
Bam.
So I think it's more of an impact if Mahomes gets hurt because that whole team rides on him.
Yeah.
Your top wide receivers are getting trouble with the law half the time. They can't stay on the field. Kelsey's getting older. You got a decent defense. The Broncos.
Do you mean Mr. Swift?
Yes, they have Mr. Swift. Right. He's getting older. Father Time's catching up to Mr. Swift. But the Broncos will have a top 2 defense.
Well, I agree with that.
And they can win games. They'll win games 10-3.
I agree with that. I agree with that the Broncos defense is going to have to carry them like it did last year at times. Now the Broncos, hopefully Waddle gets that offense a little bit more explosive. Hopefully the running backs stay healthy. But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to put it in the fourth quarter, I'm still putting my money on Mahomes if he's healthy.
That's fair. Yeah, what do you think of Bo Nix's injury, his ankle stuff? You're a PT, so.
Thanks for mentioning
yes,
that.
we have a PT.
I am a licensed physical therapist, and Bo Nix's injury, even though they were not incredibly specific, it sounded like it was to the non-weight-bearing lower leg bone, the fibula, and then he needed a clean out, so it will not affect his status at all.
That's good.
And as we all know, ACLs, it takes a year for you to really get back onto the field. It takes 2 years to be the player that you were before the ACL. So I do think that with the Chiefs, they will be able to protect Patrick Mahomes a little bit. But I don't think Bo Nix will need any protection. I think his injury is going to be just fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then we'll go into the next one. The whole Max Crosby issue that happened this offseason. He wanted out of Las Vegas. He was traded to the Raiders. Then he wasn't cleared.
To the Ravens.
Ravens, not the Raiders. He's already on the Raiders. Traded to the Ravens. And then he didn't clear his physical. And then he was sent back to the Raiders. I don't think he's going to really enjoy playing there. Like, he was a one-man show on defense. There was no one who could help him. And he's a great player, and there's been talks of him getting traded. I think he'll probably get traded sometime in the season. But, like, imagine him on, like, a healthy 49ers defense. Like, or a healthy Broncos defense, for a matter of fact. Like, I don't think he should be in Las Vegas.
I feel like his career is being wasted in Vegas, and now that you've got him with a rookie head coach, although we love the Kubiaks in Colorado, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback against 2 of the better defenses in the league, against the Broncos and the Chiefs defense, it's going to be a long year for the Raiders and their rookie coach and rookie quarterback.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you, Patti, that Crosby's kind of been wasted. I still think he'll be dealt. I bet he will be dealt before the trade deadline. If he has a good season, if he's a little banged up, that might be it for him. I mean, who knows? But yeah, and I think the Kirk Cousins thing will be interesting. I would not be surprised if they start Cousins to start the year, because I see Kubiak is going like, I'm not going to trust a rookie quarterback. I got to get wins. I don't want to get run out of here after year 1. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they start Cousins.
But the Raiders would fire a head coach after 1 year. Is Pete Carroll aware of this?
Oh man, poor Pete Carroll, man. I feel bad for him. I think he's a great NFL coach when he's given good players like Marshawn Lynch and a healthy Russell Wilson. I know you guys are still a little scared of Russell Wilson.
Shudder at that.
Yeah,
shudder at that.
I wouldn't say scared, just bitter.
Just bitter. Yeah, and then the other Raiders storyline, Genty and Mendoza. Like, honestly, I love Genty as a player. He's one of my favorite players being at CU when it was him and Travis Hunter for the Heisman. Everybody was saying, like, just watching Genty run, he's just a powerful back, and he's a really great running back. But their draft was not that good. I don't think they could have drafted an offensive lineman late, but I don't think they got enough to even have Genty have any possibility of running any better than he did last year. And they'll definitely start Kirko over Mendoza to start, I think. But is that kind of the consensus that we have?
I absolutely agree. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get the start, and then when the Raiders are, 1-4, 1-5, they're going to start getting the pressure from the Davis family to start their rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Genty is an outstanding talent.
Yes.
He will have nothing around him.
Yeah.
He will have no one blocking for him.
Yes.
He will have the same stats that he had last year because now every team is going to load the box against him.
Mm-hmm.
8, maybe 9 players in the box because once you put that rookie quarterback in, there's nothing keeping those safeties back.
Yeah. Well, and even their second best player or their best player is Brock Bowers. He's a tight end. He's going to be lined up on the line too. They're just going to stack there and be like, okay, you two safeties cover him. Their wide receivers don't even matter. They're either going to run it or do a short little pass out to Brock Bowers. Yeah. Yep. And then last storyline we have, can Herbert win a playoff game? Or is he going to even make it to the playoffs? Everybody say, wow, I'd love to have Herbert. He's like he's just the clear-cut quarterback that you want, and then he can't win a playoff game. What are our thoughts on Herbert? Is he going to jump that hump in the playoffs or even make it to the playoffs this year?
Chargers are going to Charger. Herbert is going to Herbert.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a great talent. He has got some incredible arm talent. But I just don't. I mean, he's had how many years? 4 or 5 years now.
This is different OC. Now you talk about their new OC, another Bronco connection, Mike McDaniel, coming over, the head coach from the Dolphins for him. See what Capri Pants can do.
Yeah. Better OC than head coach.
I know, and that's we'll see. We'll see if he can get back on the offensive side and not fix Herbert, but fix that offense. Because they really have. To me, they've never had an identity. Mm-hmm. Like, they've had good young players, but then they never put it together, and their play calling is kind of questionable at times. So I think McDaniel that'll be interesting. Give him a couple of years to see what he can do with Herbert to get him over the hump. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so talking about the AFC West, we've talked about a lot of these players already, but we're going to go through who's the best player at each position in the AFC West. We'll start with the quarterback. I think it might be a clear consensus here, but a healthy Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, so far. He's proven. There's obviously like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, but Patrick Mahomes is the only one of those 4 that's won the big game. He's taken that team to where they need to go. I think he's the clear consensus best quarterback in this division.
I really, really wish I could argue.
Yes.
But I cannot.
Yeah, no,
I agree. And it's all a health thing, right? ACL, we'll see what he looks like off the ACL. But he's the magic man. He's the boogeyman. Mm-hmm. To see what he can do if he's healthy. I definitely think he's the best.
Yep.
Some people are saying the next Tom Brady. Next big dynasty quarterback. No?
I can't wish for that.
You can't wish for that.
I cannot wish for that. I'm already tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
There we go. All right. Next, we'll go running back here. Patti, why don't you lead us off? Who's the best running back?
The best running back in this division was not in this division last year.
Yep.
It is with 100% Kenneth Walker coming over from the Seahawks, reigning Super Bowl MVP. But again, like I mentioned earlier, he's got a head coach who is probably going to be calling the plays, who refuses to run the football.
Yeah.
So is that going to make him want to run the football more, especially while Patrick Mahomes is getting his legs underneath him? It would be bad news if they do figure out how to run the ball for the rest of the AFC West.
Yeah. I totally agree with Patti. I wrote his name down first and then looked at some stats. There was no other running back in the AFC West who had over 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
Not Genty, nope. Dobbins, nope. He would have if he would have stayed healthy. But yeah, Kenneth Walker, I think if they use him correctly in KC, that's why I think that KC has that chance to win the division. I don't think they will, but I think that will, again, take a little pressure off Mahomes to be able to have to do everything. And if Bieniemy uses them the way that they should, but Bieniemy is known to like run off your running backs too.
Yeah.
So we'll see because he's hard on him.
Kenneth Walker will be the factor for the Chiefs of getting into the playoffs and winning a bunch of games in the playoffs. We're going to wide receiver. I'll start this one off. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'd say Courtland Sutton is probably the best wide receiver. In my opinion, this is probably the weakest division of wide receivers. You have Xavier Worthy on the Chiefs. You have Courtland Sutton. You got Ladd McConkey or Quentin Williams. And then you got whoever catching the ball for the Raiders. Other than Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers is not the wide receiver. But
Yeah.
And Courtland Sutton's had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Like, he's proven he is a number one. He might not be a top 10 wide receiver yet, but I think with Waddle now being another target that they can use, that's going to get a little bit of coverage off of Sutton, and he'll be able to really get into that like top 10 wide receiver area, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think the Broncos have the best wide receiver room.
I agree.
For sure. And with Courtland Sutton just doing what he does every single year with the addition of that deep threat in Jalen Waddle, it's going to be really tough for some of the other teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Patti. I put maybe not – it's a room. Mm-hmm. And I think what they've got is a room, and they're going to throw the ball around to different people. And with Waddle being a deep threat now, I think that'll open up your underneath coverage. I mean, you're going to see some cuts, I think, from the Broncos that are going to get picked up pretty quickly, because I think that is a deep wide receiver room right now.
Yeah.
And you got Mims too. You could throw some like jet sweeps in there with him. Like, he's super fast. You just got a really good. I would agree. Probably the best wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, you see what Pat Bryant does.
If he keeps developing, he could be the heir apparent when Courtland Sutton retires.
Yeah. And I mean, you got Troy Franklin there too. I mean, is little Jordan Humphreys still hanging around in the parking lot to make sure he gets signed? So you have a deep thing that you know that they like that wide receiving core because they kept a lot of those guys around for a long time.
Yeah.
But then going into tight end, I think it's obvious who's the best tight end. It's Brock Bowers by far. He's proven his rookie season, he broke the most receptions for a tight end. He's just proven, hey, I'm going to have the worst wide receivers and the worst quarterback throwing to me, and I'm still going to produce for this team and get over 100 yards and 15-plus catches, which he's just a beast on the field. I'd say Brock Bowers by far.
Can't argue.
I think the knee injuries that he had last year we'll see if he has those continue. Because, I mean, I know Mr. Swift is still around. He's aging. We'll see if he has a wedding bump season here. But I think he's number 2 behind Bowers. But, again, knee injuries a little bit last year kind of limited him at times.
Yeah. Do you think this will be Mr. Swift's final season in the NFL?
I would say unless they win the Super Bowl, yeah. I think if they win the Super Bowl, he might run it back again. Mm-hmm. But I think it'll probably be, especially if he doesn't perform and doesn't put up the numbers that he's been doing. And again, we'll see what the Chiefs do. I'm not sure if they know what they're quite doing yet. They want to see what Mahomes looks like first, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess right now, I'd say this is probably 65-35 his last season.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. And O-line. honestly, I made fun of this O-line for years.
As did we.
This O-line sucked for a long time. But
Holding by Bowles.
yeah, holding
Yeah.
Garrett Bowles. I actually still have his autograph on that. I still have Garrett Bowles' autograph. But yeah, it's honestly the Broncos. Like, they have proven with RJ Harvey and protecting Nicks, letting Nicks run, and Dobbins too. Like, they were the best O-line last year for the AFC. They're probably a top 10 O-line now. Like,
Oh yeah.
they're,
I think they're top 5. I think they're top 5 in the league.
Now, if you look at statistics from last year, it was the Broncos and the Rams that gave up the fewest number of sacks throughout the entire season, 23 sacks.
Yeah.
And you compare that to what the Broncos defense did in nearly tripling that total.
Yeah.
So they definitely have the best line from tackle to tackle.
Agreed for sure. And then defense, also another clear one. This is the Broncos defense has proven every year the past 3-4 years that they're gonna shut you out and they're not gonna let you get much. So I would say Broncos again. We'll see how Pat Surtain does. I'm excited to see him play some more. And hopefully, I know there's been some issues with Coulter. I know it's a touchy subject, but if he comes back and he's staying on the football field and doing what he's supposed to be doing on the football field, you got another top two defense.
And I think why they're so good is that they have an elite player at every level.
Yes.
You have Zach Allen up front, you have Benito, and you have Surtain. And then you have a lot of pieces around him who are really good. Again, the Cooper thing is super frustrating. We'll see. I mean, I think he's going to get suspended for at least 6 to 8 games.
I was going to say at least 4, but
Yeah. I mean, so
he's going to be out for part of the season.
But they have depth with Ellis and stuff like that, so I think they'll be fine. You got VJ back. I think that's a big thing. Like, him not getting a head coaching job, having VJ back, coaching that crew. I mean, they're running it back again, right?
Yeah, another guy who's much better as a coordinator than a head coach.
Oh, yes.
And I am very thankful that VJ came back even after we gave up 73 points to the Dolphins.
He's having the time of his life. Right?
Yes.
I
was calling for his firing after that game.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, and I think, like, to kind of sum it up of like why I think the Broncos will win that division is that defense, that O-line, and being more explosive on offense.
A new play caller for the Broncos.
Right.
on
That will
offense.
be interesting. That will be interesting to see.
See that Sean Payton is
that
giving
Sean-
up the
yes.
play calling duties because he got very predictable.
You guys didn't like all the bubble screens?
I was not a fan.
No more bubble screens.
No. Not unless Peyton Manning is throwing the bubble screen to Demaryius Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Because those were good
bubble screens. Yes. But yeah, overall, I think this AFC West, I think it might be the toughest division in the AFC. I could be proven wrong later, but like there's that little gap in the Bills and the Patriots division a little bit, and we'll see what the other divisions look like. But overall, I think like Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs can all win over 10 games, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. But,
Agreed.
And I know we didn't talk about the schedule much at all, but the Broncos' schedule is tough.
It
for
is.
6 games. If they go 3-3 in their first 6 games, I think that'll be good. But you look at it, they could go 1-5.
Yeah.
They could start 1-5 and have a deep hole. So again, the start is going to be important, I think, to at least. You got to at least go 2-4. I think those first 6 games to have a legit shot to win the division.
because you guys got to play the AFC or the NFC West, right? So you're playing Seattle and
Niners.
You're playing the Rams too, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's also why I have the Broncos taking a little step back. They just got a #1 schedule now because they won the AFC. They won the AFC last year, so they're going to get a harder schedule. So yeah, but we got at KC. I think that'll be a big determinant if Mahomes and Nicks both play. That might be an iffy game, and you could lose that game in KC with a not totally 100% Mahomes.
Yeah.
And like Jacksonville will still be. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Jacksonville, they're kind of up in the air, but yeah. Then you got Rams, Niners, and then at the Chargers, and then Seattle. So that's a tough run that the Broncos will have to overcome. But like you said, defense is going to hold them. Defense is going to hold them. You got Nick still going. Like I think
this is a game that's won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And the Broncos have one of the best D lines and the best O line.
I would agree. Yep.
Please.
But all right, thank you so much for Patti and Dennis joining me today. This was great. Be sure to follow on Instagram and TikTok, and they'll be linked below. And look out for some more NFL videos. And hey, maybe the Broncos will get one of those this year, but we'll see. So,
All right, thanks for having us, Reed.
Of course, no problem.
Thanks,
guys.
Reed.
Thanks for being here.